All right, we're live. Let's get this party started. Alexa, play uplifting music, please.
Here's a playlist you might like. Feel Good Oldies on Amazon Music. Good news. Alexa Plus is free during early access. Want to hear my new voice before your music starts?
No.
Just say, Alexa, can I hear your new voice?
All right, I'm getting everything ready here for us to start. I'm gonna continue to color this beautiful bird that is part of my book. The Color Me Wild, Volume 1. So this is going to be some quick 1 hour live here to finish it up. So let's take a look and let's get started. If you know me, I use colored pencils for all my coloring sessions, or most of my coloring sessions. And my preferred brand is Color. I'll be using them today. And if you're interested in adopting this brand as well as yours, the best way to identify if it's authentic is if there is the name on the pencil itself. The fake ones will not have that. All right, let's get to the fun part. And these are oil-based colored pencils. And the way that I color is a two-step process. I love this pencil so much. Alexa, play a different kind of music.
Here's a mix for you on Amazon Music.
That can be made aware of my art and the coloring sessions, and I will appreciate. I'll follow you back as well. Alright, I like this red here there, and because red is my favorite color, I think what I'm gonna do is just I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trying to put the same colors in different places just to create some sort of harmony. And I love this red. So let me see if I want to use this one or perhaps a different one. I have two others here that are my favorites. So there's this guy and there's this guy. I think I'm going to do another set of flowers with this one. So I'm going to put it here to the side. And with the second one, I'll just bring it in for the shading for more of a pop of brightness. Hope you can see that there. It looks so cute in person. Okay. And I could press it harder, but this is such a waste of a pencil that a little bit goes a long way if you blend it, as in using the blender to get the right tone that you want. So I will do half of it, and I like to blend while it's still kind of soft and not way too much, because the more air exposure that the pencil lead gets, the results are not exactly the same. So there you have it. See? It makes a world of a difference to use this magic guy here. And then I can come back to another color with the other red that I'm using. I haven't decided what color I'm going to color the bird yet. So if you want to give me suggestions, feel free to do that in the chat. I have done this bird a few times, and every time I like to put a different spin on it. Sometimes I like it to be super colorful and not really all true to the bird type. It's just a songbird that was flying around my yard, and I took a picture of it and then drew it and got it embedded in this illustration that was just of a flower field. I thought the tiny little guy looks so cute. And here. Alright. Oh, that's an oldie. Virtual. Here in my yard, I have a bunch of perennials, and every year I go with a bag that's like a pound of wildflower seeds. And those are Pacific Northwest flowers. And you can see the two different reds here that I use, right? So it's just trying to use the light for it to darker here. And I'll bring the dark on these petals as well in a minute. And I got a whole field of this beautiful wildflowers. Some of them, it's kind of a mix, you know, when I buy it in bulk, some of them come back, and some of them are really just annuals. But at the end, every year, the fields get a new collection of perennials that stick around, and the birds love them. I have to find a way to draw in a fair way my favorite, what a friend of mine calls weed. I don't call it weed, I call it flower. And it grows so tall, it gets like to be about 6 to 7 feet, depending on if it is a new one or if it's coming back from last year. It is a perennial and it's so beautiful. So it's like a, I don't know the name of it. I used to. I have to get the this little seed bag that I grab a bunch of the seeds and read the name again. But to describe it, it's like a huge tower. The leaves are kind of furry, and the flowers are yellow. So if you imagine like a tower with so many different capsules, because there are capsules, and then each one of these capsules put away a few flowers. And I love seeing the birds just going there and having a go on them, you know. So this little birdie was flying close to one of those, and he was like tiny like this. He was no bigger than like that. That's why proportionally he's so much bigger than the wildflowers from the previous illustration. Anyhow, alright, this one colors. Its colors are these and with no. I wanted to bring some on the purple tones. Let's see. On lilac. There's so many beautiful ones. I don't want them to be too light. I want it to be a really good pop. This is beautiful. Okay. I think it will go good if I put it in here and then the opposite side, just like I'm doing here, the pears, you know. Maybe right here. So let's just start with this smallest one, and if we really love it, then I will put in that other one as well. And trust the process. It starts a little rough, and then we blend, and it's gonna look beautiful. I need to get this pencil sharpened again in a different way. Let it bit There we go. Let's see. I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful today. This really helps my eyes relax so much. You guys have no idea. There we go. You little cute buddy. With no judgment, I say that I could never imprison a bird, because I envy them so much that they can fly and see the whole world from up above. They have the superpower that I wish I had, to just be able to fly and go see so much more around, you know? Let's put this guy in the... Need to be sharp. Okay. A bit different. Then you start with the white dots, and then this guy. This part of the process, kind of a little magic. I feel like all my favorites are gonna play today. Sucks that sometimes the songs are not licensed for public use on TikTok. And then when I post a recording of my live sessions, I cannot use them, so they just go with some random music. I wish this was not the case. Okay, so I love this one, but I feel like I need to get something else on it as well to complete it. Just as it is not doing it for me. And I know blue flowers are so rare, or there are not too many species that have blue, but I want to add a little bit of a violet tone to it. I'll let it sit for a while. Okay. And this is looking cute. I'll speed up a little bit. This larger ones. And welcome guys, everyone joining now. I am coloring one of my illustrations from my book, Color Me Wild. And this is from the Color Me Wild Volume 1. This is the cover. Ignore the bar here. This is my personal copy. And they are available in the Zone on Amazon. This collection has 5 volumes, And I started just with my bird illustrations, bird and flowers, and open fields. And then it was about fall, and I live out in the country, and my front door or any window and door is always covered with so many moths. And I started taking pictures of them every time I would come home or go outside and visit what we had there. And it's a little bit different than life in the city, because back in the city I never really noticed so many moths. But here in the country we have a lot of different ones. And I started to take pictures of them and then go and try to draw them. They have to be simplified because they're pretty complex. They have textures and different colors. And I thought about capturing some of them to be able to be more precise, but I felt so bad to do that. I mean, they're alive for a short period of time and they're so beautiful, so I wanted to just preserve them. And one way that I found to do that, let me add the violet here so when I blend it you see the difference that this makes, okay? So trust the process here with me for a minute. That doesn't look awesome, right? But this is just the beginning of it. And when I come here with my blender and smooth it all, this is gonna be completely different. So let's go. So anyhow, so I took some pictures of it and I was in awe of how much fun it was to draw from a picture all the different ones. I will never forget one. It was one of the very first ones that we noticed that would always be here as soon as it started to get cold, and is a white moth, and it's hairy or fuzzy. I would say not hairy but fuzzy. It looks hairy. When my and I thought, well, I would draw it. I wasn't thinking about putting it in a coloring book at the time, but now it is in the coloring book and I have to figure it out the best way to make justice to how it looks like when I color. So maybe the next session I'll bring it up, the original picture and then the drawing that I put together it, and we can color maybe to be botanically accurate, or maybe we'll just make it look super fun. So what do you guys think about this different way to approach colored pencils, that you give it a go and then you use a blender to smooth it out, bring the true color of it, and even when I brought the violet, the effect that it creates on the paper. And I'll use one of my little drawing pencils here to just clean the paper without dragging it. it. And I'll bring more of this violet tone. Now just it's here and there. I'm gonna bring a little bit more in there as well. That looks cute. Okay, this is not a violet. I'm just trying to get it a little darker around the edges. Okay, so time for a new color. Let's find. So I want to find balance, and I wanted to get now this one here that is so beautiful. Look at this one. And just make sure that I want it. Yes, I do. Test it out. Because I already have the red here, so now I'm gonna bring kind of like a orange. Okay. So there's a lot of green that will go behind this, guys, and I will do that later. But this one, I think it will go well. It's easy to do that because you do the regular sharpening and then you just bring it to the paper and color something just using the tip, just going flat on it. Okay, that's continuation of that petal. I really like it that way. Okay, bring the dark traces here so when I go blend they come. Yeah. It's going to look nice. just press it too hard on it. Yeah, it's an eraser. This one, not this one. This helped me erase some things when I make mistakes, either drawing or coloring, with fine details. And I only bother about doing that because a lot of my art end up being an illustration in some book, some other book, or becoming the cover of another book. So I try to be particular about the coloring pages that I really like, and so far this guy here, I really enjoy what is coming out to be. And it's a keeper. And for those of you joining now, I am coloring one of my illustrations from my book Color Me Wild, Volume 1. And I'm using Color oil-based colored pencils for this session, which is my favorite colored pencil. And they start like that. And if you have colored pencils that you use and they leave this kind of whitish spots behind, get your blender and then you smooth it out and you spread it around. And colored pencils are such a great medium. And when they are highly blendable, it makes everything looks better. So you can play around with how you would like to layer the colors. See, a little bit goes a long way. I went very light on that flower and I got a lot of it. So then I go again after I blend in azimuth to get the effect of darkness from the center on. Okay, this one is also done. And now I want to find a different color. And just from memory, what I had in the field, I think we could use like a true orange flower, because they are always part of it, of the fun. Yeah, this is the one. And I think I'm gonna put them right here. Okay. Haven't decided on what color. It's gonna be the birdie yet. And I don't know why I keep, in my mind, I keep going from the color that this birdie really was. It was like a brownish and gray little songbird. And or I could make it look super fun and use greens and blues and yellows on it just for a pop of color. But perhaps the browns and grays would do much more justice to this illustration with the colors, you know, where he's not really trying to camouflage in it. He's just sitting proudly. I love the song. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm gonna start doing in a few sessions later to use watercolor pencils instead. I don't know. Just play around with it. Because I really like them. I get to have fun with the colored pencil, medium, and watercolors at the same time. I created some big illustrations years ago for my kids' bedroom, and that's what I use. And they turn out so cute. Of course, now they are teenagers and they don't want to have those childish illustrations there. This is so cute. So I kept them, and I think I am going to transform them into a tutorial of how to create this kind of effect. Of colored pencils, and then bring the colored pens, the watercolor colored pencils. Ah, that is tricking me. So start with just giving a lot of material for me to blend later, and then quickly spread a little bit of this oil base red. Cute. I need to brighten his eyes a little bit. So that light effect can be seen. I'll do that with some white. Okay. A bit fun. Petal by petal. Trying to hold my pencil in a way that you can see how it goes, while still being fair to myself, that this is a mindful session for me to work my eyes, normalize my vision. I really like this orange. I must remember orange number 8. I have an idea for it. For one of the birds that is supposed to have a lot of orange. Okay, let's finish it up. I wanted to work on some vibrant greens, but also some kind of like forest mossy tones on the background. But before I do that, I have to decide if my birdie is gonna be colorful or just brown and grayish. Brown and grayish and a little bit of, I thought about putting like a little bit of yellow right here on this part, just to give it a pop if I go in that direction. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in that direction. Okay. Okay, so greens it is. It's time for greens. Okay, so I use already very bright greens and I stop because that's not exactly what I wanted to do with this page. So I'm gonna leave this here. Let me get some good green candidates. This is the one that I use already. It may not look as dark, but it is. And I have to pick one because those are not different flowers, so I can just go all over the place with different greens. But I can add some tones to it. So let me see. Bring the page again. Let's check this out. Okay, this is the guide that's already on the page. And this is a metallic grass green. And this is what I was looking for. But I think it's too dark. I want to do that. I want to play with something just a little bit lighter. Maybe you. Let it go. Nope, you're off tone. But maybe one of your cousins. Yeah, that goes with that. Just go with that. So let me start a blending session here to see how they will play together. So I have to put new leaves and mistake. So salvage this. Okay. Not. No, we cannot. Let's start over. Okay. All petals, all leaves. Go into the new. Blending it. Okay. Okay. I think I can do it. Let's see. I'm gonna get some of them to be on the old, some to be new. But they all start with 2023. And then I'll work them individually following the light. Since I got the green here, it's because our little bird is going to be brownish and gray. I could have listened to this song in a loop all day long. I mean, it's Led Zeppelin. for whatever reason, the live ended. Go figured. I decided when I digitalize them to just get them to make sense, because some of them were just, I do, and I do celebrate Thanksgiving. And how this one came along, wait, this is not it, this is it. I got different illustrations and then put it all together in a fun way in this book. So I do celebrate Thanksgiving, yes. I have been here in America for going on 18 years, 17 years, yeah. So yes. But I always try to spin around and do a little bit different because I do not like turkey. I mean, I like turkey meat, like the one that you get in the deli for sandwiches, but I cannot stand the smell of a house where a turkey was cooked. So last year I did a ham. No, actually last year I didn't cook at all. I just brought a side dish. And this year I was talking to my boys and we're like, my oldest loves turkey. He can eat turkey 5 days after Thanksgiving. I can't. You don't care for turkey either? Hello, Liliana. How are you? And my youngest is like me. He cannot stand turkey. He likes to eat when it's fresh on the table, but then the smell and 5 days of turkey for leftovers drive him nuts. So I was at the store, and guess what? I'm glad to hear that you're doing well again. There was no turkey anymore. It took me a while to go to the store to get the turkey for my oldest, and I thought I'm gonna get just a little one, and cook it for him and cook a ham for my oldest and I. And I was surprised. The shelves were empty. So I look around and I say, you know what? Let's do something different. I asked them, what if instead of turkey or ham, we actually do a steak? Totally different. I say, I'll get one big steak for each one of us, and since we all like to cook, I will do all the side dishes and whatnot, because they love my mashed potatoes, but you guys got to cook your steak however you like. And they were game for it. They were so excited about it. And they even did a little cooking competition that I was the winner at the end because I got to not only eat my steak but taste their steak. Yeah, it was nice. I really love that my boys like to cook. It's one of the things that make me happy. When they go to college, they're not gonna be living on noodles only. Okay, so I have this part here as well to get the greens, and then we will jump into this is not a petal, this is a leaf. Then we will jump into coloring the bird. I'll put this green that is the base of what we did here everywhere first, and I'll bring the others, just speeding up the process here a little bit, guys. Decided to put a green backdrop everywhere. And I'll enhance it as I go. So manioc is also a root vegetable, and it's so delicious. In Brazil we make them fried or baked or in soups, and we use the flour to make what is known as the Brazilian cheese bread. It's a self-rising flour and is gluten-free for whoever likes gluten-free stuff. I love gluten. And it's delicious. Oh, it's so rich and delicious. I'll just spread some of this green around, and with my blender I will do the rest of the job. Let's soften this green here down. There we go. It's looking a little bit more like the rest. I love what you did with the Everyday Besties pages, Liliana. I keep looking at the video, and I love how you color the hairs from those two girls. They look so much fun. They look totally party ready. I wanted to ask you, we can DM as well, but I wanted to ask if you want to do a live, like a duet, like a live together. I don't know how it's called, but just like do it live together. And we choose a page. Can be different pages too of that book. And we color together. What do you think? Could be a fun thing. I'm gonna have to color this one here because from the other one and this one we are at 1000. It got a crash in the middle of my live a few minutes ago on this farmer page. We got something to color together. Just a clip. I am being way too rough on the page. There we go. How does it look in the screen? Looks alright? Yeah, let's do that. Can do it together. I did with a couple influencers that got a copy of my book. I sent a copy of the book. And it was fun. I just love coloring with people. This is a little bit of flower. I'm gonna give it some color. And I'll erase the extra. Okay, the flowers and the greenery is done. Now I'm gonna start with the bird. Okay, so I wanted to do brownish and grayish. So I gotta find something that will do justice to it, and the yellow as well. So I know the yellow that I want to use. I have two different ones here that I just love to how bright they are. So I'm going to start by choosing that. It can be this autumn gold, or it could be this one here. I think I'm going to use both of them. Start with that and then put that one on. So this is going to be my yellow for this part here that I want to give some fun coloring. And then for the bird itself, I think I need to get a good number of browns to do justice to it. Let's see. I think most of this will be a lighter brown, and then I will infuse some of the dark ones. So let me get the browns. I'll figure it out. This will work for now. Don't care about direction either because the darker color will come in. I'll put this randomly here. And randomly here as well. I want more of the grays on this part, so I'll just sprinkle this color here. Okay. And then the dark one of this. One. Okay. Just really tracing back all those different feathery, very cute little feathers that are softer and undefined. And then just on top of every part here, I'll give this color a go. And here just at the bottom. For a blend, not on top there. Okay. Give just a little bit of the lead here for this, and it's time to blend so it doesn't stick around. And it looks kind of yellowish, but we're gonna bring the brown, the darker browns that I separated right there on top very lightly. Just to give it a go. Okay. Keep bringing in. Blend, 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 blend. And look at the texture, it looks good already. It's gonna get even better as we add more to it. It is not a one go and forget. So the dark ones are sticking around here, and this is the effect that I want to create more here. I'm gonna get it. Dry sweeper. Okay, let's keep on going. Where did this scratch too strong? I'll just spread a little bit more. Here we go. It's starting to look the way I want it. Okay, so now that that is spread, I want to bring the brown for the texture of the feathers and kind of to give a movement. And this time around I will, oh, this one's not blended. direction that I go with my pencil, because I don't want to just redo the illustration. I want to work with it. Go. Anytime that you use too much of a color, right away you can just blend it like this if it comes too strong. And here we go. A little bit darker, bring in the brown that we wanted. I'll do the same on this side. And all the way the bottom here. I want to make sure that I have enough lead to spread on these white spots. Thank you. Thank you, Liliana. I love layering with the colored pencils. I think for me that's the fun part of going with it, rather than a simple color. So this is gonna be yellowish, okay guys? So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna bring any brown to it. I want to make it like pop. And here, a sprinkle of brown. That part is going to be blended. Like this. Spread. Add a little bit more here. I want to leave this as it is and just got these two areas. This is where they come together. There we go. And I will not use the pencil, the blending here. I'll just keep adding texture to it. Okay, this is our fourth brown. And I'll bring it from the bottom of the feathers in here. And whenever there's a darker shading here, basically just here. That's why I like this square or very sharp pencils, because I can kind of draw with them at this point. Try to make it in a way that when I bring the gray, I barely need to bring the gray, but that is very soft as well. I don't want a gray bird. I wanted a brownish with tones of gray. So here we go. Wild and cute. Still need to bring a little bit more texture here. More darkness. Oh, my brain is having too much fun. I forget to speak about other things other than what's going on in my creative process. So feel free to engage me. This is a session that I try to do for my own mindfulness, and I invite you all to be part of it. Okay, so this here is very light. That's where the bird will have the most dark brown contrast with the yellow. And let's give it a little bit of pigment and spread it around as much as I want. And the yellow comes. I want to see you fly out of the page. It is so therapeutic, and for me it's actually true therapy for my eyes, to control the spasms and everything else. Whoever bought a copy of my book have read on the back that I do have an eye condition. It's neurological, and this is how I build neuroplasticity through art, drawing, coloring, doing all the things that get my mind to allow my eyes to stay open. Okay, so I want to do the beak first, and then I'll put the yellow. It's gonna be like our finale. But I need to bring the gray very lightly, almost like to offset some of them, not as a pattern, but very wide, as a wild statement to the colors. I don't want it to be all like geometric. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Forget about it. Just want it to look organic. What's up, Ruby? Okay. Now for the beak. Beak is going to be much more gray than brown, but this is going to be the base of it. Just keep consistency. Okay. And bring a good amount of this gray here to it before we blend. If I have to erase, I will erase. doesn't turn out good. Because right now, I'm not feeling it. Looks too much like its body. There's more gray. Keep bringing it up. All right. And now the pop of yellow. I'll start with the bottom. Bring a little bit of this guy on the darker parts. And all around here. This is how we'll introduce the yellow to the rest of the face. So it goes this one first, then we bring this guy here to really pop. And it goes everywhere. I still have to do the eye. I'll do the eye in a second. Alright, you're looking good. I think that this mix did the trick. And a brighter yellow in the center. Alexa, next. Okay. I like this. Okay. I like it. Such a silly feeling to look at how something turned out and be so excited. This kind of a mix of, this is an earth tone. It has more green. I give this a little smudge. A little smudge. Like this. Just bring them together a little bit more naturally here. And here, would I have too much? Okay. That's for the eyes. We're done here, guys. This is it. I really like how it turned out. And I'm gonna use this illustration later, so I think that my next step will be to just kind of get the framing of it. So I don't do that to all of them, but I'm gonna do it for this one. And just frame the color. So I have to find the right spot to start. Okay. And this is so creamy. And kind of this filling on it. I'll layer different colors later, but I just want to finish up with this touch of putting a frame on it, since when it gets published the illustration stays floating in the middle of the paper. And I try to use a different way to publish them, that is to just let the illustration be all over it. It doesn't look good, so I'm gonna keep it this way. And I'll add more color later on. The rest of the border, this is the one that I wanted to use just for now. I have to decide if I want to use this in something else, some other book as a cover or whatnot, or just frame it and put it here in my house. I like the brown, so I'm gonna use it for the border for now. Let's erase some of the extra parts here. This is one of my drawing erasers. I like it especially when